Hello, welcome to RTM News. My name is Emmy Akura Adaa. Let's take a look at the stories coming here on News for tonight. Bekisele says government has a plan to end xenophobic attacks. Government has a plan to end the xenophobic attacks which have engulfed Gauteng, but the plan cannot be released to the public. This was said by Police Minister Bekisele yesterday, a day after 2 people were killed in the Johannesburg inner city during xenophobic attacks. The violence and the death happened after a gathering by hostel dwellers in Bulgaria, Eastern Johannesburg, went out of control. So far, the death toll has risen to 12 on Monday. Sele met with business leaders in Randburg to discuss the xenophobic attacks which have resulted in a diplomatic fallout for South Africa in the rest of the continent. Staying in this segment, DA staff faces retrenchment, no bonuses after poor election showing. South Africa's official opposition party, the Democratic Alliance, is called jobs at its operations across the country after a poor performance in the May general elections. Not only are DA staff members facing the axe, but the party will not be paying bonuses this year amid claims that its donors are holding back funds. Following a very difficult election period, the party is regrettably not in a position to pay bonuses this year. We will, however, have an extended ex gratia period in lieu of these, DA Chief Executive Officer Paul wrote to party staff last Tuesday. Staying in South Africa, Mpumalanga mom found guilty of murdering her 4 children. Zinhle Madikla, who was accused of killing her 4 children in Clanet, Maklani, Mpumalanga, was on Monday found guilty of a premeditated murder. Madikla was convicted in the Mpumalanga High Court sitting in Middelburg. National Prosecuting Authority regional spokesperson Monica said she pleaded guilty and will be arguments for sentencing. Monica said Madikla had said in her plea agreement that she had taken some of the rat poison she gave to her children and asked the court for mercy. Staying in the last story in South Africa, Malema will report to Hawks for a warning statement and the media is invited. The Economic Freedom Fighters has released a statement confirming that party leader Julius Malema will report to the Hawks office in Silverton, Pretoria to give a warning statement relating to allegations that he has discharged a firearm during the EFF's 50th birthday celebration in Eastern London in 2018. Members of the media are invited as Malema will be taking questions. The statement said a video emerged in August last year of Malema firing what looks like a high-powered automatic rifle into the air at his party's 50th birthday celebration gathering in Eastern Cape. EFF spokesperson Boyeseni Njozi claimed at the time that Malema had fired a toy gun. There had been some confusion on what the National Prosecuting Authority plans to do regarding the firearm case. And these are all the stories we're coming in, our South African stories for tonight. After the short break, we will continue in the rest of Africa. Stay tuned. Education and entertainment for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. RTM, 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 Redemption Television Ministries, redeeming lives is our focus. For quality programs, why education and entertainment for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. Redemption Television Ministries, redeeming lives is our focus. For quality programs, why education and entertainment for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. RTM, Welcome back. Insurgent kills 29 people in northern Burkina Faso, says the government. At least 29 people were killed in Burkina Faso's troubled north after a food convoy and a transport truck were attacked. The government said a terrorist attack on the convoy killed 14 civilians, while the truck hit an explosive device in Samatenga province, killing 15 people and wounding 6, it said in a separate statement. This drama comes as important security efforts are underway in this region, it said. Military reinforcement have been deployed. Once a pocket of relative calm in the Sahel, Burkina has suffered a homegrown insurgency for the past 3 years, which has been amplified by a spillover of extremist violence and criminality from its chaotic neighbor, Mali. Staying in this segment, Ethiopia government condemned for silence on creeping homosexuality. A group affiliated with Ethiopian Orthodox Church is condemning what it calls the government's silence on homosexuality in the country. Speaking at a conference Sunday in Addis Ababa, the capital, Dereje Negash of the Orthodox Church group dedicated to an Ethiopian saint said the government's indifference on the issue is helping the LGBT movement in the East African country. We are witnessing foreign elements that are trying to spread homosexuality in Ethiopia using aid, politics, and technology. To this end, they are spending millions of dollars. The regent said in his presentation to hundreds of people inside a conference hall. Staying in these segments, South Sudan's Ekel Machar meeting to revive stalled peace deal. South Sudan's political rivals, President Salva Kiir and the rebel leader Riek Machar, are scheduled to meet today as they seek ways to implement a peace deal last year. The two men signed a pact a year ago to end a civil war that has killed hundreds of thousands of people, displaced a third of the population, and wrecked the economy. But the rollout of the accord, which called for a unity government, has been delayed because the government says it does not have enough money to fund disarmament and the integration of all the armed factions. Still in this segment, Zimbabwe's ex-president Mugabe to be buried next Sunday, says presidency. Zimbabwe's former president Robert Mugabe, who died Friday in Singapore at the age of 95, is scheduled to be buried on Sunday, September 15, in a location yet to be determined, that the presidency announced Sunday. His remains are expected on Wednesday afternoon in Zimbabwe. The official funeral is scheduled for Saturday. His funeral will take place on Sunday next, President George Charamba told EFF, adding that the place of his funeral would be determined by his family. Since his death, discussions between his family and the government about how to organize his funeral have been taking place. After the short break, we'll be taking a look at our Nigerian stories. Stay tuned.
Programs education and entertainment, for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. Education and entertainment, for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. Redemption Television Ministries, redeeming lives is our focus. For quality programs, Wahi, education and entertainment, for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here.
Thank you so much for staying with us. Xenophobia, 640 Nigerians ready for evacuation from South Africa. The number of Nigerians willing to leave South Africa has risen to 640. The chairman, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri Erewa, has confirmed. She explained in a WhatsApp message on Monday that the intending returnees would be evacuated from South Africa by Air Peace in 2 flight operations. The evacuation was expected to commence on Wednesday. She stated 640 Nigerians have registered to come back home from South Africa, and Air Peace will transport them home in 2 operations. Meanwhile, the SA government has issued a strict warning regarding the spreading of misleading information about the xenophobic attack, saying fake news about the protest could see social media users prosecuted. Staying in Nigeria, troops raid Boko Haram terrorists in Gwerega village, recover weapons. Nigerian Army Troop of a 22 Brigade the Super Camp in Dikwa, Borno State, have dealt heavy blows to Boko Haram terrorists in Gwerega village in Dikwa local government area of the state. Colonel Sagi Musa, acting director, Army Public Relations, in a statement on Sunday disclosed that the operations was carried out in conjunction with the Civilian Joint Task Force, local vigilantes and the hunters. Musa said the operation was carried out following credible information from locals about the presence of terrorists in the village. Still in Nigeria, Ifeanyi Ubah defeats Ubah brothers. Ekunefe wins Ume at tribunal. The Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Awka, the Anambra State capital, has upheld the elections of Senator Ifeanyi Ubah of the Young People's Party and Uche Ekunefe of the People's Democratic Party for the Anambra South Senatorial District and Anambra Central Senatorial District respectively, while the Oye Mogu defeated Chris Ubah of the People's Democratic Party and Andy Ubah of the All Progressive Congress at the tribunal. Senator Ekunefe defeated Victor Ume of the All Progressive Congress Grand Alliance. Ume had challenged the declaration of Ekunefe by the Independent National Electoral Commission, stating that she was not properly nominated by her party, while the Ubah brothers alleged that the election of Ifeanyi Ubah was characterized by violence. And taking a look at the last story coming in this segment, I have nothing against Islam, says Governor Wike. Wike made the remarks while showing the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum and the governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, the city of the mosque he allegedly demolished in Port Harcourt. A statement issued by NGF's head of media and public affairs, Mr. Bello Bakindo in Abuja, said that Fayemi was in Port Harcourt to verify the true situation about the issue. Wike claimed that there was no mosque at the site, but a sewage line. I have nothing against Islam or any faith for that matter. As you can see, there was never a mosque on this ground. Instead, it is a sewage site which has been in contention between the state government and some groups because they want to develop on prohibited land. The statement read. And those are other stories we have for you in this segment. After the short break, we'll be taking a look at our international stories. Stay tuned.
Programs were education and entertainment, for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. RTM, 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 Redemption Television Ministries, redeeming lives is our focus. For quality programs, Wahi, education and entertainment, for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. RTM, 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 Redemption Television Ministries, redeeming lives is our focus. For quality programs, Wahi, education and entertainment, for spiritual messages uplifting
Welcome back. Typhoon kills 5 in North Korea, 3 in South Korea. One of the most powerful typhoons to ever hit the Korean peninsula has left 5 people dead and 3 injured in North Korea, state media reported. In its first public announcement of casualties since the storm made landfall in the country a day earlier, before reaching North Korea, Typhoon Linglin hit South Korea, killing 3 people and injuring 13 others. Though the country appears to have escaped widespread damage outside, observers said rainstorms could be a catastrophe in North Korea because of poor drainage, deforestation, and decrepit infrastructure in the impoverished country. South Korea media said North Korea could eventually report more typhoon-related casualties and damage. Staying in this segment, Kamala Harris apologizes after appearing to laugh at this law. Senator Kamala Harris, California, and a 2020 Democratic presidential contender, apologized Saturday for laughing and saying words said in response to a man who described President Donald Trump's actions as mentally retarded. When my staff played the video from my town hall yesterday, it was upsetting, she tweeted. I didn't hear the words the man used in that moment, but if I had, I would have stopped and corrected him. I am sorry, that word and others like it aren't accepted ever, she said. Staying in America, Pompeo defense plan to host Taliban leaders at Camp David. Hours after President Donald Trump called off a secret meeting between United States and Afghan leaders and the Taliban at Camp David, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo defended the decision to invite Taliban leaders to the U.S. in the first place. During an interview with NBC's Meet the Press, host Chuck Todd pressed Pompeo on whether it was appropriate to have the Taliban set foot on Camp David, given the area's historical significance. And we concluded this was a perfectly appropriate place, he added. You know the history of Camp David. Lots of bad folks have come through that place, he stated. And in the last story coming in this segment, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson under fire as Brexit reality hit. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson was last week stripped of his authority over Brexit, denied a new election and abandoned by his little brother. Now another senior minister has quit his government and the ruling Conservative Party in protest at Johnson's effort to lead the UK out of the European Union on October 31st with or without a deal. Amber Rudd resigned Saturday, piling more pressure on the increasingly embattled Prime Minister. Johnson expelled 21 members of his own party after they supported an opposition plan to try to block a no-deal Brexit. And those are the stories we have for you in this segment. After the short break, we'll be taking a look at our sports stories. Stay tuned.
Programs education and entertainment for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. Education and entertainment for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. Redemption Television Ministries, redeeming lives is our focus. For quality programs, we're here. Education and entertainment for spiritual messages uplifting your soul. We are here. RTM.
Thank you so much for staying with us. Let's take a look at the stories coming in our Europe 2020 qualifiers. Azerbaijan claimed first point and denied Croatia 3 points. Azerbaijan claimed their first point of the Euro 2020 qualifiers with a hugely surprising home draw against the World Cup finalist Croatia in Group E. The Azeris had lost all 4 games so far, but Time Kings' stunning solo goal gave them a famous result. Dejan Lovren, Ivan Perisic and Marcelo Brozovic all started for Croatia and they led through Luka Modric penalty. The result is a significant one for Wales and they are 4 points behind leaders Croatia with a game in hand. Still in the Euro 2020 qualifiers, Kevin De Bruyne inspired Belgium to win over Scotland. Kevin De Bruyne inspired Belgium to a brutal defeat of helpless Scotland to all but end the hopes of reaching Euro 2020 via their qualification group. The Manchester City man set up Romelu Lukaku, Thomas Vermaelen and Toby Alderweireld and netted the fourth. Steve Clark's side must now look to next year's playoffs as their best hope of ending a 22-year wait for an appearance at a major finals. Victory made it 6 wins from 6 for Roberto Martinez's Group I leaders. Still in this segment, Germany beat Northern Ireland to go top of group. Northern Ireland's Europe 2020 qualifying hopes suffered a major setback as they lost 2-0 to Germany in a post-setting qualifier at Windsor Park. Marcelo's Hans-Stegen stunning half-time volley early in the second half and a stoppage time goal by Serge Gnabry gave Joachim Low main victory. Germany go top of Group C above Northern Ireland on goal difference. Cornell Washington squandered 2 gilt-edged chances for the home side and Stuart Dallas also went close. Northern Ireland keeper Belly Peacock Farrer made some fine saves as Germany dominated the second half. And in the last sports story, Babel scored twice to give Holland win over Estonia. The Netherlands upped the pressure on Northern Ireland in Group C by thumping Estonia in Euro 2020 qualifying. Ronald Koeman's side, who have a game in hand, moved within 3 points of second place, the Northern Ireland, who lost 2-0 against Germany. Ryan Babel scored twice, converting Daley Blind's cross from close range, as well as heading in at the far post. Former Manchester United winger Memphis Depay scored in a beautiful third, and Georgina Wijnaldum headed in late on. And these are other stories we have for you. Our stories are for tonight. See you again tomorrow. Same time, same station. Do have a wonderful evening.
Redemption Television Ministries, redeeming lives is our focus. Well, for quality programs, why education and entertainment, for spiritual messages uplifting.